unless you have been living under a rock for the past week, you will know that crypto has been thrown into complete disarray in the last few days, with the rumours swirling about the future of staking in the USA. So what does all of this mean for Vulcan and the new Vulcan blockchain? Well, I just have two things to say. One man's misfortune is another man's opportunity, and timing is everything. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Let's go. Come on in, my dearest friend. Take a seat around my table. If you've seen my latest videos, you'll know I've been on my travels again. I was in Romania for 2 weeks, and I was joined by the gorgeous Susan Emerson of this parish of Vulcan community. She flew out to join me in Romania for a couple of days, and I just bring you a few snippets of what we got up to towards the end of this video, so stick around if you want to see that. But in the meantime, of course, there's tea today. There has to be. And it's Yorkshire tea. If you saw my video of yesterday about calls for the calves, and I know you didn't watch it because only 76 people have watched it so far. So go on. After this video, go and watch that one. You will know that I forgot to take my tea bags to Romania with me. So I'm still catching up on all of the tea that I missed during that 2 weeks. And it's good. Oh yes, it's good. So before we get into this video, let me say, as I always do, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, just talking to you about the palaver that's going on in crypto at the moment. So please do your own research. And as always, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, then please do hit that subscription button down below. It's really appreciated. Thank you. Okay, so what the heck is going on? Well, it all started on the 8th of February when Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, published a thread of 6 tweets on Twitter, and it went like this. We're hearing rumours that the SEC would like to get rid of crypto staking in the US for retail customers. And you'll see this is the thread. And for the uninitiated, who aren't American, the SEC is the Securities and Exchange Commission. So of course that set the hairs running, and that was very quickly followed by an announcement on the 9th of February by Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, who said, today the SEC charged Kraken for the unregistered offer and sale of securities through its staking as a service program. And although no concrete announcements have yet been made about the future of staking in America, it's very clear if you watch anything that's been put out by Gary Gensler that this isn't just isolated to Kraken, that they're going for staking in the USA. They're looking to take it down. This is my take on it. And I would absolutely agree that the future of staking in America is very much in doubt. Now, I'm not going to get into the whys and wherefores of that. I'm not in deep with the SEC. I'm not American. I don't know the ins and outs of it. But I do know that I love staking. I stake, you stake, we all stake. In crypto, it's at the heart of what so many people do. It's at the heart of the decentralization, and it's a fantastic way to earn passive income. And so it's really worrying, actually. The state of affairs is particularly worrying, I think. And of course, although it is isolated to America potentially at the moment, where will it lead? I don't know. But we're not talking about that per se in this video. What we're talking about is, what does this mean for Vulcan and the Vulcan blockchain? And of course, we know that there is a type of staking at the very core of Vulcan. But it is a very different animal than the staking that is being called into question in the USA at the moment, because it is our unique auto staking where we just simply hold our Vulcan in our wallets in order to earn. The staking or the auto staking is burned into the tokenomics. We are not giving across our Vulcan to a third party in order to earn our rebases. It is all happening in our wallet, and that's a very, very different kettle of fish than traditional staking. And of course, it will not surprise you to hear that Brian and the team have leapt on to what they see as a massive opportunity now to shout even louder about Vulcan and the coming Vulcan blockchain in the light of what is happening at the moment in the USA. And just yesterday, we had a tweet from Brian that said, boom, auto staking from the Vulcan blockchain triumphs the SEC, the press is out. And then if you follow the link through, you will come to an article in the California Herald. Vulcan blockchain is solving the SEC staking problem. Now, I won't go through all of this, but just to read a little bit. With the recent news that the SEC is looking to ban staking for cryptocurrency, Vulcan blockchain is stepping up to the plate with their own auto staking solution. This innovative technology will allow crypto investors and institutions to continue earning rewards without worrying about government intervention or politics. Read on to find out more about what is staking and how Brian Legend and Vulcan Blockchain are changing the game. And then if we just carry on, it does explain what traditional staking is, but then how the Vulcan blockchain is doing things differently. And it says, in the meantime, Brian Legend and Vulcan Blockchain are leading the way in providing users with an alternative to traditional staking methods that is free from government interference. Their auto staking solution offers investors a reliable, efficient, and secure way of earning rewards without having to worry about potential sanctions or other issues related to regulation. This could be a game changer for many cryptocurrency investors who are looking for ways to generate passive income without relying on traditional investment methods. It will be interesting to see how the crypto community responds once this technology becomes more widely available. And then just earlier today, just a couple of hours ago, we had a further tweet from Brian that said, looks like Vulcan's auto staking is starting quite a bit of chatter among the crypto's decentralized web. Hashtag no SEC. And then again, if we follow through, what we find here is actually the Reddit community of cryptocurrency, which, let's be clear, has 6.1 million members. And in this community is now a discussion about that very article that we've just seen from the California Herald, with Vulcan at its center. Woo! So, although there's been a lot of maybe disappointment in the community over recent weeks about the delay of Vulcan and the launch of the Vulcan blockchain, suddenly we find ourselves just at the height of pumping out lots of marketing. We've seen in recent days lots of articles being commissioned by the team and written about Vulcan and the launch. And then suddenly we have this new angle. We have the SEC calling out staking in the USA, and we have the Vulcan blockchain offering a potential real alternative. And of course, we don't know the future of staking. We've already said that. It's not clear what is going to happen. Maybe it is all rumors at the moment and nothing will come of it. Or maybe staking will be dismantled across the next months, years, who knows. But in many ways, it doesn't matter, because what is happening at the moment is we are capitalizing on the news that is out there and that is happening right now. We are jumping on board and saying, yeah, that might be happening, but look here, look what we can offer. And of course, I'm pretty sure that there will be many Americans currently who are heavy into staking, who are in a bit of a tailspin about this. They're worried about what their future might be, how they will earn their passive income if they haven't got traditional staking. And even if it's just people, looking on the internet, what are the alternatives? They could well stumble across the article in the California Herald, the Reddit community that's talking about this stuff, and whatever else is going to come of these current discussions. And I also know there's been some disquiet in the community across the last few days about all of these articles, even before this news, the articles that are being pumped into the public domain about Brian, the team, Vulcan, lots of claims being made about safuu, etc., etc. And some of the community members don't like it. Well, let me tell you, I like it. I mean, the publicity out there is insane at the moment. And to be honest, I couldn't give a flying fig how it gets there. I don't care if it's commissioned by the team. I don't care that it's not organic. Because actually, if you do now a Google search on Brian Legend, whereas before, and I remember doing this just a few weeks ago actually, if you Google Brian Legend, probably the first article that came up was one of those horrible fuddings, Brian is a scammer kind of articles. And although those articles can still be found, if you now Google Brian's name, look at what happens. So here we go, and you will see that it's article after article about the upcoming launch of the Vulcan blockchain, about Brian and how he is changing the space. And so the marketing machine is working overtime at the moment, and it is paying dividends. And what has just happened these last few days with the SEC, with staking, is just building on what has already been established across the last few weeks. And it can only be good for Vulcan, for the Vulcan blockchain, and ultimately for us as investors. If we can get eyes on Vulcan in any way, shape or form, then we are going to benefit. There's no question. I just don't see how any of this is bad. So there's just my thoughts about the whole SEC thing. But now I want to share with you a little bit about my time in Romania. Now, again, if you've watched my previous videos, I was out in Romania with my husband. He's a musician, he's a conductor of orchestras, and he had 2 concerts out there. So I flew out there with him just to support him and be with him really, and have a nice free holiday, and it was gorgeous. But an extra bonus was that Susan from the Vulcan community flew out to join me. Now the reason for this was that I contacted Susan just a few days before. We're in a kind of frequent contact, myself and Susan. I met Susan in Dubai and we got on great, and ever since then we've been in touch. And I contacted Susan just kind of a week before I was due to go to Romania, just to say, hey Susan, I'm going to do a ladies live stream. Do you want to join me? And when can we do it? And she said, yeah, of course. When are you going to do it? And I said, well, I'm going to Romania. So I'm not really sure. And she said, why don't I fly out and we'll do it there? I thought, what a great idea. So she did. And we did our ladies live stream. And if you haven't seen that, then I will link it and you can take a look at that. So anyway, Susan came across, we did the live stream, and then we had probably another full day together before myself and my husband had to travel to northern Romania to do his second engagement. And so we parted company with Susan. But here is just a glimpse of what myself and Susan got up to in the day that we had together, and we had such a wonderful day. Here we go. So here we are in the main square of Brasov, and as you'll see, there's a sign up in the hills, a little bit like Hollywood, that you can travel up to. So myself and Susan grabbed a cable car and up we went. It was actually quite a clear day. It looks a bit cloudy, but it was quite a clear day, but it was absolutely freezing. And here we are at the top. We met this great group of people. And we were all trotting along to get to the sign, and there's the gorgeous Susan. And here we are at the Brasov sign, and the view was absolutely incredible. You literally could see for miles and miles. It was beautiful. And I mean, the whole thing, it was just like a winter wonderland up there. It was so spectacular. And here we are, just enjoying the snow. And then we met this boy, this bear of a dog who lives on the mountain, and he was absolutely gorgeous. And of course, no day is complete without some spectacular food. So I had this wonderful kind of bean and beef stew served in bread. And then here we have a speciality of the region, which I forget the name of, but it was absolutely, it's like a cabbage thing. It was fantastic. And Susan had some Transylvania soup. But of course we were there because my darling husband was working, and so here's just a little snippet of him. Oh, what a great day we had. And you know, I was reflecting with Susan when we were together that a year ago we hadn't even met. I hadn't heard of safuu, of course I hadn't heard of Vulcan. I wasn't invested in safuu. And here we are, not even a year later, and you know, beyond being part of the community, I've literally met physically some incredible people. I was lucky enough to go to Dubai and meet a whole load of my YouTubing colleagues and Brian and the team. And now I've forged this gorgeous little relationship with my, what is now dear friend Susan, who is a beautiful human being. And Susan, if you're watching this, I love you. And we did have a wonderful time together, but I hope it's a sign of things to come and that we'll spend a lot more time together in the future. But you know, just another reason why I love this project. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today, but as always, I will say thank you so much for watching my video. I hope to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, cheers.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.